girl AmandaAmor, and you've just tuned into my Periscope, The Influence of Love. So I want to go ahead and do a love scope. I've been wanting to do these love scopes for a while, and I've been dying to talk about relationships and just a lot of things that are always on my mind. And this one just came to me because I was just trying to think about like what would be a great topic to, just really embark on here. Hopefully I can get this on my IGTV. If you love what I end up talking about on here, please make sure to double tap on the screen for hearts, and please invite your followers by clicking the little green bean in the bottom right hand corner. And you can share this video with them here either on Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you like. Please share the link. That way anyone watching this can watch this. So as you guys saw by the title, A Healthy Relationship, How True Love Should Be. Okay, I really want to talk about this because I really feel like a lot of people are really missing, thank you so much for inviting your followers, Q the Dawn, are really missing the experience of true love. And I'm going to keep saying it because y'all know I just recently got engaged, but I haven't really talked to y'all a lot about my relationship. I have a beautiful relationship. I have a relationship that is so sacred to me and is so important to me because, and I protect it with my life. I really do. I protect it so much, and God has really put it in my heart to talk more about relationships and love. And I told myself, and I've been doing it on my Instagram. If you guys are not already following me on Instagram, make sure to do so by clicking the link in my bio. It'll send you straight there. The Influence of Love is my name on Instagram as well. But God has also really put it in my heart to start talking more about it here on Periscope. And last week was such a blur, so I'm just trying to, really get on point about it this week. And you guys know, if you guys watch my other videos, I talk about love and relationships here and there, but I really want to put more of a focus on talking about love and healthy love. I think that a lot of people are in relationships that aren't healthy, from what I hear and from what I'm able to understand when people approach me and ask me, what should I do in this situation? I have this going on. I realize that this may not be a good thing for me, but they still stay. And it's just something that I've seen so many times, and it breaks my heart. Thank you so much, Michael, for joining, and everyone's double tapping on the screen for hearts. I appreciate y'all. So I really want to talk about this. The first thing I really want people to understand, the reason why I feel like a lot of people don't get in a healthy relationship is because they settle. There are so many things that you can settle for in life, but love is not something that you settle for. And I understand that some people have that as kind of like a weakness for whatever reason it is. Either they get caught up in a situation. It could be that they have some type of stronghold. It could be that, they have, what are they called? They just left me. I just forgot. What is this word? It could be like a, dang y'all, it just really left me. I can't even remember. Basically, like when a person just has an attachment, yes, thank you, a soul tie. Thank you so much, Q the Dawn. When people have a soul tie and they know the person that they're with is like horrible, evil, like it's not a good relationship, but they're just stuck. And some people will blame it and say, oh, it's just the sex, or it's just they always know what to say to me, or it's just like they always get back in my good graces, or it's just like we've been together for so long. But I really honestly believe that you can't really take something that is negative and yes, toxic, and make it seem or make it want to appear as though it's healthy. That's the problem. A lot of people kind of parade their relationships and put themselves out in a way where they claim that they have a great relationship, but behind closed doors, it's nothing like that. And I'm not saying this to bring judgment onto any person, but again, to get people into a conversation about what makes a relationship healthy. And why is it that people don't think that they can have healthy relationships, or it's too much to ask for? And I think lots of times, I think some people are conditioned to think, and I remember many times in my life where many people were telling me, you expect too much, you want too much. I'm sorry, no guy is ever going to treat you the way you treat them. No guy is ever going to be as smart as you are. No guy is ever going to be as good-hearted as you are, because it was like, as a woman, I was too kind, or I was too mindful, I was too, like, I don't know, I guess, I don't want to say the word, I would just want to say, like, I was just too mindful of who I was and what I wanted. I was too mature, and any guy that I was going to have to deal with was just going to be immature. They weren't going to be on my level. And that's one of the things that, I don't know, from a very young age, I just always do. I was like, no, I'll know when it's the right person. I'll know when it's the one. Like, I'll know. Like, I just thought I'd know, right? And I think for a lot of people, they're very aware of what they want, and they're very aware of what they don't want, but they start to settle because they think that what they want isn't going to happen. And so I also really want to give this for people who you don't want to settle. Maybe you've already gotten out of a relationship, and a lot of people are always pressuring you and telling you, oh, why, you need to date already, or, are you going to be single forever? And like I was telling y'all yesterday, love is not something that you rush. When you want something to last forever, anything that you want to last forever, anything that you want to be a good thing in your life, you don't rush it, period. Like, you just don't. So you have to really realize that anytime you have something with someone, it has to be mutual. It can't be forced. A lot of people try to manipulate and control situations to what they want it to be, and that's the reason why it never works. Whether you're, the guy who wants to, you always get the girl back into their good graces, whether it's the female who always wants to just tell the guy how she wants to be treated all the time, and she always want to be on his back about, you don't talk to me enough, you don't open up enough to me. All of that is just really bad. Like, it's just really bad. When a person is genuinely into you, you don't have to force the interaction. It's natural. It's like, there's no need to even explain. It's already understood. And that is something that I really, immediately from the time that I got in my relationship, I saw that. And I won't even say that that happens in romantic relationships. It can happen in platonic relationships. Sometimes people try to be friends with people that it's like, you have nothing in common. This person doesn't respect you. This person doesn't like you. This person isn't how you are. This person doesn't even know how to be happy for you or applaud you when you win. And you see that they're like, kind of putting a stank face on, or they're kind of like very dismissive of something that's a very big deal in your life, and I love so much, recently when I got engaged, I had girls and people who were messaging me, and they were like, I'm so happy for you. I had someone message me, she's like, we're not even friends in real life, but I feel like I'm like your real life friend, like I was like, she just felt like, I feel like you're really my friend in real life, and I was just so happy to see you get engaged. And so I completely relate to that, because like, I'm a girl's girl, and so I love seeing women win. I love seeing women be happy. I love seeing people get into a place in life where it's like, you deserve that. Congrats. Good for you. Like, why wouldn't I want to apply? Why wouldn't I want to be happy for you? I just think women, we're just so much more bomb when we're happy, and when we're in a place where we know who we are, and we're just in a place where everything makes sense. And so I think that's another reason why a lot of people don't have healthy relationships, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, you're dealing with stuff where, like, when you tell people, it's like they have to brace themselves. Like, why are you doing that? And why are you dealing with that? And how does that make sense? And people almost want to make it seem like time and like a lot of feelings. Thank you so much. Thank you for the congratulations. Time and like the feelings, the strong feelings mean it's love. Strong feelings don't always mean that it's love. You could have a lot of feelings for a person and it just be feelings, not even like a real tangible love, a real feeling of like, wow, this person really loves me, You could be fighting for something that you want so bad, and it's like, why can't I get it? Why is it not attainable with this person? Because you're with the wrong one. It's not right. And a lot of people, they're just scared to walk away because of the time they've invested, because of the fact that I don't want to start all over. I don't want to be lonely. But let me tell you something. If you are not okay with solitude while you're single, you could be in a relationship and feel just as lonely. Thank you so much. Thank you. So you want to really be mindful. Being with someone isn't a cover-up, or it isn't going to fix the fact that you don't have love for yourself. I'm in a relationship. I've been in a relationship for 4 years. I just got engaged. So you want to keep that in mind. If you don't love you, nobody else is going to be able to really love you any better, to be honest with y'all. So, to be honest, I really want y'all to know this and just be aware that anytime that you want to receive a healthy type of love, you have to have that same type of healthy love with yourself. Thank you so much to whoever wrote congratulations. You want to be aware of, what is it that you really, really want? What is it that you really desire for yourself? Because whether it's in, something romantic, whether it's in your career, whether it's in how you want to treat yourself and where you want to be in life, like, you really have to understand that you have to be deserving of that. If you're not secure in who you are, you can't be successful. You can't be happy. Like, you have to be secure regardless of how things are in your life. And so, like I was telling y'all before in the previous video, if you guys didn't watch it, make sure you check it out. I did a video just now on frustrations. There just comes points in your life where you have to realize that you're not perfect, but that's okay. In order to have a healthy relationship, you just need to understand that you need to be in a place where you're ready for that. You can be hesitant. You could be like, this is unfamiliar, this is new to me, but it's a leap of faith. You really have to be willing to just try something new, right? And the number one thing I also want to really, get y'all to understand, when you have a healthy relationship, there needs to be respect. One thing that really sticks out to me a lot with people who don't have healthy relationships is that there is disrespect all over the place. Down to the way that they talk to each other, down to the arguments and the fights. Let me okay. Let me just say this real quick. if there's one thing that I specifically would tell God, and I always was very clear on, I was like, God, I never wanted to be in a relationship where I was in a constant back and forth with someone, where I was fighting, where I was arguing, where I was like begging the person to do right by me. I was like, look, God, if it's going to be like that, I don't want it. I don't want it. And maybe there was like, there were times in my life where, I was just wishing for things that were going on that just weren't right for me, but I didn't know no better. I was young, I was naive, but I still knew it wasn't the right situation. And so that is one thing for me. I just think it's exhausting to be in a relationship where you have to constantly fight for like your right to be loved, your right to be respected, your right to have something mutual and healthy. Like if you don't just have that off rip with a person, like if they don't just want to respect you because they love you so much, and they just want to like, dog you out and kind of have their cake and eat it too, and be like messing with a lot of people or doing things behind your back or talking ill to you to others, talking ill about you to others, that's never gonna work, and that's not a healthy relationship, and that's not true love. I think a lot of people put that title of true love, or this is the love of my life. People take the word love way too lightly. Like when it's someone that you really have something very mutual and just like a real loving relationship, like it needs to be that. You can't just slap that title on just anything or anybody, or you will be putting up with just anything or anybody. And so you need to really have standards. I say that so much. I cannot stress that enough. I think too many people don't have standards because it's like as soon as you get standards, people tell you you expect too much, you're bougie. Let me tell y'all something. This is the reason why a lot of people don't have healthy relationships. This is the very reason why a lot of people never get to true love. This is the reason why people never experience love in the ultimate way that is so real. A lot of people say, oh, that stuff in the movies isn't really real. That's not really real life. Yeah, sometimes some stuff you see in movies isn't really real, but let me tell y'all something. Real love is really real. You don't settle when it comes to that. Because let me tell y'all something. If I would have settled at any point in given time in my life, and I would have been running behind or let someone who was completely toxic and wrong keep trying to get back into my good graces, I would have not got engaged this past Saturday. I would not be on my way to holy matrimony. I would not be with a person that it's not even like, it's not infatuation. It is real love. It is real love. And by the grace of God, I'm with someone who really honestly loves me and cares about me. So y'all have to be really, really, just be woke, y'all. Like, just honestly, don't be paying attention to what you see everyone else doing, because nowadays everybody wants love, but everyone doesn't know how to receive it. Everyone doesn't know what love is. And so you got to get real clear. Love, it's black and white, y'all. It's black and white. You cannot call abuse love. You cannot call hatred love. You cannot call disrespect love. Let's get real. Because so many people, they love to hate on what they see is right because you're so busy loving on what's wrong. Period. Thank you so much. But listen, another thing, right? When it comes to healthy relationships, like I've been trying to tell y'all, this is why you can't rush this. Like, you can't rush it. You can't force it. Like, if you keep compromising your standards and your values and your moral code, you will never get to the right person. Yes, and most people confuse love with lust, and it's not the same thing either. Because lust is just a lot of feeling. It's a lot of, I'm attracted, but there's no love in that. Because real love goes beyond attraction. Yeah, attraction is there. Like, I'm attracted to you. You're beautiful. I'm attracted to you. I just find you an attractive person, right? But it's beyond that. It's beyond that, because when you love a person, looks is not the only thing that's going to keep you there. Okay, the fact that they just hella fine or fly, that's not going to keep you there, because all those things fade, And it's like, people always say, for as fine as a woman is, or for as good looking as a man is, there is someone out there that's tired of their crap. Like, there's somebody out there that's like, I can't stand this person, because at the end of the day, as people, we are complex. And we're not always easy to deal with. And we have our good things and our bad things and our difficult things, our weaknesses and our strengths. And it takes a person who really, really loves you to understand that. Thank you so much. So y'all have to be very, very aware of that. And let me tell y'all, if I wasn't really clear on what true love is, child, when you don't really know what true love is, you will really settle for just anything. Something else I want to give y'all that works my last working nerve. I cannot stand. Woo! I cannot stand when somebody says, oh, but they like you. Oh, but he like you. Oh, but she like you. So, anybody could like you. Anybody. People want to make it seem like you got to give somebody a chance just because they like you. I'm sorry, you like me? Do you know me? Are you able to sustain who I am as a person? Can you meet me where I need to be met? Do you know what it takes to really keep things afloat? Do you know how to say sorry? Do you know how to work things out? Do you know to admit where you're wrong? Because one thing about me and my man, I never have to sit here and go back and forth with him. We are very humble and we are very honest with each other. When we do something that is wrong, or we realize we maybe took something the wrong way, look, I'm sorry. I realized I messed up. I realized that, I misunderstood you. I realized that maybe I misread what you said, We're very mature in that area. Listen, I could not be with an immature person, and he could not either. I'm not petty. A lot of women love being petty. They love being petty. They love belittling their men. They love making their men feel like they're not smart enough, like they're not good enough. Listen, somebody, respect, because a lot of women, as soon as we start talking about R-E-S-P-E-C-T, it's, oh yeah, these men out here don't want to respect us. But how about you to him, sis? Because men want to be respected just as much. Because to disrespect a man, listen, when you disrespect a man, child, they don't stand for that, okay? They do not stand for that. So you need to be very clear. Respect is a human thing. It's not, just for females to males or males to females. It's a human thing. We need to respect people. If you don't have respect in your relationship, it's a wrap. It's not going to be a good look. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Anyone else who's on here, please double tap on the screen for hearts, and please invite your followers. And make sure to follow me if you love what I'm talking about. I'm going to be doing more videos like this. So I hope y'all love it. I hope y'all like it because I love it. Let's put it like that. But yeah, let me just kind of continue to wrap this up because I'm kind of losing some sun in here, but it's going to be dark pretty soon. Do you think a relationship is stronger when the two people were friends first? Honestly, I hear people say that all the time. I think it's important to build a friendship just in general. I think that when you really have a healthy relationship, you should feel that it's your best friend. I find it very hard to not have that. Like, I think it just becomes simultaneous. It just becomes the same. Just for the simple fact that when a person becomes so a part of your life, like, you become like one. So it's super important for you to realize that, and for you to realize that like another person doesn't complete you. You have to already be whole on your own. Lots of times we hear this saying of like my other half, and people say that just like, it's kind of like a cute thing that people say, but you never want to feel like you're not whole on your own. You want to understand that another person should complement you in a way where they're your equal, where when you're at the same level, you want the same things in life. For my people who believe in God and Jesus Christ, to be exact, because I'm a believer in God and Jesus Christ, I always, make people aware, and I want people to know that you don't date for just attraction. You don't even just date for love. You date for purpose, because you want someone that you can build something with. The problem with a lot of people is you have someone that you've been with and you're used to, but you don't have anything to build off of. You don't have nothing that you're working towards with them. And I think that that's super important. And just having good communication. That's another big issue with a lot of people who don't have healthy relationships. Oh, we can never talk. He never listens to me. Listen, if y'all can't even if y'all can't even talk to each other, what do you expect to come from that? How do you expect that to be a healthy relationship? It's never going to work. You cannot force people to want to communicate with you. You cannot force people to want to talk to you. You cannot force people to just kind of like, get where you're at. Like, you can't force that. You can't force people to want the same things that you want out of life. Like, you have to be on the same page. And the only way to have that, the only way to get onto the same page, period, is to realize, like, simply put, I don't know, y'all, I don't know how I'm feeling these lights right now. Does that look better? It looks a little bit better. The only way to do that is to honestly realize, like, you have to be on the same page with a person. If you're not on the same page about stuff, it's going to be an issue and a problem. Like, it's just going to be an issue and a problem. It's never going to work. And I've seen so many people, they're like, yeah, I tell him and 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 I tell him. I could make a song out of that. And it will be a hit. I tell him all the time, look, I need this. Look, I need that. Look, sis, he heard you the first time. The first time. They heard you the first time. After that, you just wasting your breath. You only got about so many times you could reiterate the same tired thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again to somebody. That's frustrating. Is it not? Is it not frustrating? Does it not make you want to pull your hair out and just like, whoo? I don't have time for that. And the problem is that some of y'all got too much time to talk about the same tired stuff. Listen, I don't even got enough time to talk about the same tired stuff with just anybody, let alone in a relationship. I don't want to hear about the same tired negative crap that's going on. I don't want to gossip. I don't want to talk about how life sucks. I want to talk about solutions. I want to talk about what's good. I don't want to be, listen, yes, you could definitely ask me anything. As long as it's appropriate, as long as it's related to the topic, we good. Honestly speaking, like, if you are with a person and it is just, listen, you just cannot talk to this person no matter what it is. Nah, if someone's beating around the bush, he's wasting your time. Period. That's not worth it. No. And people, sorry, I got a couple things that I want to say. Man, when a man has to be sure about you, like, sure, a person needs to be sure about you, because women like to string men along too. Let's be very clear. When a person is really into you and they really want to make it work, you will know. You will not have to guess. There will be no games. Now, I do think that it takes, you have to be experienced and you have to know how people work and you have to be patient. Sometimes somebody doesn't text somebody from one day to the next, oh, I guess they're not the one, but you need to really, a lot of people just get involved way too soon, especially physically involved, which a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't really matter, just physical, but when you lay down with a person, you become one, you know what I'm saying? They become your equal. So there's an exchange. So, yeah. Even if you hold hands with somebody, even if you kiss them, it's intimate, you need to be very careful, because there's a lot of people out here that they are not good, okay? And they like to prey on people who are. And so I believe that when a man is sure, you will know. He will pursue you. You will not have to do the pursuing. Now, you can do the pursuing if you like, but I really feel like you shouldn't have to. I feel like you should be able to show your interest back. Definitely, I think a woman shouldn't have to play hard to get. She should be clear on whether she wants to be with the guy or not have to make him jump through hoops and circles to get to her. But I do think that, for instance, with me, that's a whole other thing. Well, let me finish this first. I do think that, for instance, with me, like, with my man, he just, like, knew. After a certain point, we had been talking for a while, and he was just like, I just knew. Like, he was like, I could just see it, and one thing that really got me, because I had read this before in a quote, and they said that when a man is ready, when a man meets you, if he's not ready, he's gonna get ready. If he feels that you are the one, and he's like, no, I need to get this one can't slip through my hands, he will get ready, okay? Because he's not gonna want nobody else to get what basically it seems like nobody else has been able to get. So that's my thing. Like, I really feel like for a lot of women, a lot of people, they're put in a position where it's like, man, you look like you're the type of person, you'd be great in a relationship. Or like a lot of people used to always tell me, like, you seem like wifey material. Like, you seem like the type of girl that someone would settle down with, due to the fact that you respect yourself, due to the fact that you're a good person, due to the fact that, people are like, you seem like a great catch. You know what I'm saying? So that's super, super important. And then that relationship lasts. Honestly, like, it's so crazy because I go back and forth with my boyfriend about that too, and my fiance now, about that, like, who loves who more. But I think that the love should be mutual. I mean, maybe sometimes one person does love the other more, but I think that when you just love each other, you just love each other. I don't really feel like one person has to love the one more than the other. I just think that you just, as long as you love each other, like, you'll just know. Like, I don't really see it as like this person needs to be so much more into this person or whatever. But I think people are just going to show their love in different ways, and you just have to be aware. So that's just it. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and finish out here with this last point, is that you should never get sick of each other. When you're in a relationship with somebody, I hear so many people say, you say, what do you say to someone who already has a kid in a relationship but wants to move on? I really don't know what you mean by that. Like, they don't want to stay in the relationship? I don't know what that means. What about the who would say? Okay, so the I love you first. I mean, I don't know. Like, I heard someone say you wait till the guy says it first, but I just think whenever the person is ready, just say it, But I do think that you have to be with a person for a while. I think you should be dating before you tell a person you love them. I don't know. That's a hard one. I really, honestly, like, that's just my personal opinion. I don't really know. There's not a set in stone thing that I have for that. You really want the guy to say it? Well, then just wait till he says it. My man said it to me first, but I already felt the same way, so it was cool. But yeah, I know it's like a scary thing for people to put themselves out there, so yeah. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, people always say, like, things like, like, after a while you get sick of each other. I I've been with my man for 4 years. I am nowhere near sick of him. And now that we're engaged, I'm like, I feel so much more attached to him. It just happened like from one day to the next. I was like, oh my God, I'm so attached to you now. Like even more attached than I ever was, because like now we've come into a different phase in our relationship. And so yeah, like when you're really in love with someone, you will feel attachment. You will feel like, dang, like I really love this person. Yeah, love exists, for real, it really does. And I really want to scream that from the rooftops, not just because I'm engaged, but because it's the truth. And I've been sitting here trying to tell people for a long time that love exists and good things exist, you know, because a lot of people think that a lot of people don't want love because they think they're not deserving of good things, just in general, including love, which is something that a lot of people desire and want, but they think it's like unattainable, or it's like it's never going to happen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everyone's been telling me that. I was telling my fiance that today. I was like, everyone's like, you have a glow and you look so happy. And yeah, that's God. It's all God. But yeah, I think it's so important to know that, because I hate when people say that. I feel like when you really love a person, you love their company. You don't get sick of them. Some people say like, oh, you know, you stop fighting to get off the phone at night. Like, no, you get off. I'm 4 years in my relationship. I still beg my boyfriend not to get off the phone. I just do. Like, I just do. And I don't think that that's something that would change once we live together and we're married. I just think that I love him. That's it. And he typically wants to get off the phone because he's already tired, but he always calls me. That's another thing. A lot of people used to always tell me, oh, guys won't call you. And I think that's a very healthy part of a relationship, for a guy to want to talk to you, especially over the phone. And a lot of people tell me, oh, guys are not into talking over the phone. Lies from the pit of hell. I remember my boyfriend, he was my boyfriend at the time, my fiance. I keep trying to correct myself on that. Sorry, y'all. I would tell him, like, you're not going to call me every night. I was like, guys don't do that. And he was like, no, I'm going to call you. And I was like, nah, you're just doing that now because you're like, we're in the talking phase. I'm like, I expect you to change after that. Like, I really was adjusting. I was like, I'll adjust. It'll be okay. You'll be texting me all the time. And he was like, no, I'm going to call you every single night. And he does. To this day, he still calls me every single day. Like, he calls me. I've never had to beg him to talk to me or to have conversation with me. I've never had to beg him for that ever a day in my life. So yeah, I want y'all to know that. And last but not least, I want y'all to also realize that a big part of being in a healthy relationship is, yes, he's a real one. I'd say that we're just a real couple, like a real down couple, like we just really are. Anyone who's on here, please continue to double tap on the screen for hearts, and please invite your followers, and make sure to follow me if you're loving this topic. So the last thing I want to give y'all is that when you're in a really healthy relationship, a relationship that you're having true love in, the person will hear you out. There's many times in a relationship where you feel like, should I say this? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that comment. Where you feel hesitant, even though you're with somebody for a really long time, there may be things that you're scared to tell them, things you've never told anybody, things that maybe you all of a sudden start feeling, very like concerned about, or just very like uneasy. And sometimes you're scared to tell the person, like, what if they don't want to be with me anymore? What if like this is a deal breaker for them? I mean, it never occurred to me before to tell them this, but I want to tell them now. What if it's something that we've always done and now I don't want to do it anymore? I really feel like when you really love, let me not say feel. I know for a fact that when you really love a person, you're willing to adjust to whatever makes them most comfortable. One thing about my relationship, my fiance, he's always been the type of person that if I told him, listen, I don't feel comfortable about this, he never pressed me or pressured me into doing anything that I told him I didn't want to do. He was always like, no, if you feel uncomfortable, we don't have to do that, period. That's it. I don't need to even go on and on. It's just like, it's done. And I think that's so important, because I think that's another reason why a lot of people settle, because they almost feel like, and I feel like this is a lot more for women than for men, women feel like they have to be everything to a man. And I think that's just very bad teaching on previous generations, that you have to be perfect at everything. You have to be the perfect this and the perfect that. Otherwise, he's going to leave you and go get with another woman. Well, that's going to be his fault, because he's going to miss out on this great catch right here if he does that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why that's even a notion. I don't even understand why women are constantly perpetuated and told that, because it's so unhealthy, and it's just so bad to tell a woman that she has to kill herself for a man, and it creates just a completely, like, just a relationship that's not fair and that's not balanced. Yes, that mentality is so toxic. I cannot stand it. I just feel like that's not right. In a relationship, people should want to meet each other halfway. It should be fair. It should be mutual, period. One person should not be striving to do everything else for the other person while the other one sits back and is like, what are you going to do for me? That doesn't make any kind of sense. When you have a good relationship, a healthy relationship, exactly, a 1950s mindset. okay? And especially now that we've changed so much, I get that people are like, oh, you know, everyone's like, everything is different this day and age. It kind of is, okay? If there's things that, you know, traditionally have worked well, I think it should continue. Like, many people feel, as do I, that people should be monogamous. You know what I'm saying? We should continue that. I do think that women should help in the household. I think that's true, but I think that there's nothing wrong with a man also helping. Like, I don't think that's wrong. Another thing that I want y'all to know and I want y'all to realize is just that, again, these shouldn't be things that you should feel like you're asking for too much. You're asking for something that's like, I'm just, I don't know, like you expect too much, like you're bougie, like you're, you know, high maintenance. Oh God, I hate that word, high maintenance. It's high maintenance to want respect. It's high maintenance to want someone to meet you where you're at. It's high maintenance to what you bring to the table. You want someone to also bring that to the table. That's high maintenance. Like, we're not talking about shoes and handbags and you need to drive a foreign car. We're just talking about mutual love and respect. And that's high maintenance. You know? That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy to me. And I really also just want to say, for any girl, if you feel like you've ever been told that you're high maintenance, there are so many. I read something the other day, it was so, oh my God, I loved it so much. It was like, artistic women are the best women to date because they do things for themselves and they like look beyond, you know. I have the quote somewhere. I'll probably post it one day. I loved it so much. It was so great. But it was just explaining, and it's just like the way that I've always felt as a person. I never felt that anyone owed me anything. Even down to the time that I'm right now in my relationship, I still feel like when I get really nice gifts or things from my significant other, I still feel like I owe him. I feel like I need to give back what you just gave me, and he's like, no, you just need to receive it. It's yours, you know. Just because I'm just so, like, I love everything to be so equal and mutual that I don't feel comfortable with someone shelling out cash for me. I don't feel comfortable with, like, just taking advantage of people. I don't like it. And lots of times when you're a woman and let's say you're attractive or you're like, you know, just the type of person where you keep up with yourself, a lot of people think that, you know, like, basically, like, you're stuck-up-ish or, like, I don't even know, like, just because you have standards that you're high maintenance, or just because I don't know, you just like to be at your very best, whether it's emotionally, physically, in anything. And I think that a lot of people feel like, oh, if I get with a woman who doesn't really want much, it'll be an easier relationship. But typically those type of people who talk like that are people who don't really want to bring nothing to the table anyways. I can't stand this lighting. Yeah, I'm gonna get off soon, but they're people who can't bring nothing to the table anyways. And so it's a lot easier, like I told y'all in one of my previous videos, to kind of take advantage and manipulate a woman who doesn't expect a lot for herself. And there are a lot of women who also don't expect a lot for themselves, so they will shame other women for wanting more for themselves, period. I want to briefly say for guys, again, I mean, I'm talking more from a female perspective because I am a female. In the future, I would love to do these type of videos with my significant other because I'm sure he could shed more light on, like, the male perspective. But the most thing that I can say about guys who really want, you know, just really healthy, real relationships is just that you have to just be honest with yourself, and you have to realize that what makes you a man is really you being a man and not being a little boy who likes to pursue a lot of women and who doesn't like to commit. What makes you a man is that you commit, is that you're honest, is that you're respectful, is that you have priorities, and you, what's this word that's leaving me? That you're responsible, that you have integrity, that you have character. Like, there's so many people that don't have that, and I think that it's so often women are taught, you know, it's like they teach girls to be wives, but they don't teach men to be husbands. And that's horrible. We live in a day and age where it's really like that. And so it is so important that nobody gets any excuses made for them. You know what I'm saying? That we all realize that, you know, how can we raise little girls to be wives and to be, you know, proper and to respect themselves, and then we tell boys, like, oh, it's okay, he's a boy, you know, that boys will be boys. I hate that saying. I hate that saying because it excuses bad behavior and it excuses things that aren't okay, and it makes boys think that they're entitled to act up, that they don't have self-control, as if self-control is something that only girls can have, when girls have the same desires and the same thoughts and the same mindsets as guys do. Like, it's not even something that is so foreign or so, like, unrealistic, or is like, I don't even know, like, it just makes no kind of sense to me, like, when people say stuff like that, because it's just an excuse to condone bad behavior. That's it. So I really want to give that to anyone who watched this. I'll be doing more videos about this. I could be here all day talking about what's healthy and unhealthy. Y'all already know. But just please keep in mind, especially if you're a person that you're in a relationship and you want to get out of it, you know it's unhealthy, you can do it. You can do it. Like, understand that you're worthy and you deserve more than what you settle for. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And also realize that if you're a person and you refuse, you're so welcome, you refuse to stay in a bad relationship, you're doing the best thing you could ever do for yourself. Like, it is a disservice to you and everyone around you. And if you want to create a family with a person who is dysfunctional, like, just back up, because it's not going to ever work. You don't want to settle. No matter what anyone tells you, no matter what pressure you feel, no matter if you feel like everyone else around you is already in a relationship, already married, and you're still always like the third wheel or a fifth wheel, listen, it doesn't matter. Like, just realize that you will have if you want a healthy relationship, you have to fight for the right to have one, because many people are not going to give you your worth. Like, your worth is something that you already have to have, and from that you'll be able to see whether a person really respects you. And I think that a lot of guys want to have a girl that's respectable, but some guys just, they just mess around because they're not ready to settle down. But I think that when a person is really ready to commit, you'll know. And you'll know when a person is trying to string you along and just wants you to be like a trophy wife, or just wants you just for like, because you look good, or because they want to benefit off of you. For, women who just want a man because he could pay stuff for me, or he could buy me a bag, or he could take me out to go shopping. Like, you'll know. So don't ever settle, right? It makes so much sense. Exactly. It just makes perfect sense. So just understand that when something isn't making sense and when you're trying to force it, that's when you're questioning it and you're doubting it. When it's real love, when it's true love, when it's healthy, you don't doubt it. You just bask in how right it feels. It feels right. It feels amazing. It feels like everything I ever wanted, and it's happening to me, and it's real, and I don't have to fight for it anymore. Something's coming to me, and I just remembered. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married? It's the first movie. And it's Jill Scott's character at the end of the movie. If you guys remember in the film, Jill Scott's character, she had gained a lot of weight, and her husband at the time, he was cheating on her. He took like another woman on the trip that they all took with all these friends of theirs, and she ends up finding out that he's cheating on her. And she meets a guy like back in this cabin area or whatever. They went to like these mountains. So she meets this guy, and he slowly but surely helps her to like get back into a good place in her life. She ends up like losing some weight. She looks really great. And around like the end of the movie, he ends up her ex-husband ends up running back into her, and he's with like, the woman that he left her with, and she doesn't know how to cook, she doesn't know how to do anything, and now he misses her. He like sat there, dogged her, did all those things that he did to her. And there was just this really beautiful scene where she's in the bathroom with like all the girls that went on the trip with her that are like her mutual friends, and she was just saying how her heart feels so full because she finally found love. Like, she found a man who doesn't put her down, a man who respects her, a man who wants to see her grow. And I just feel like love is supposed to be that way. It's a person who sees you not just for who you are, but for who you could be, who is not just buying into your potential, but into who you currently are, and wants to build with you where you're at, doesn't want to leave you how you are, doesn't want to be so fascinated and kind of like, I guess, blinded by your potential, blinded by who you could be, but who you are. Because you really want someone to love you for who you are. Because if they're just kind of infatuated with the ideal of you, then they're not really getting to who you really are, the core of who you are. And that's what a person needs to be invested in. That's what a person needs to be like drawn into about you. It's who you are, and the fact that it's mutual, that it makes sense, that you're not forcing it, that they're willing to make the changes, that they're willing to realize, can I be enough for this person? Am I in a place where I can, emotionally sustain who I am as a person and this person? Because it's a lot in a relationship, and you have to be ready for all those things. Otherwise, it just won't work. All right? And that's basically it. Thank you to everyone that joined. Make sure to follow me here on Periscope, and also follow me on Instagram at TheInfluenceOfLove. You see, thank you for doing this scope. It was really informative and helpful. You're so welcome, and I hope to do so much more, and I really felt this one today, so I can't wait to watch it back and see what parts I'm going to put onto IGTV. Hey, y'all, make sure you watch me on IGTV if you follow me on the Instagram. I'm sorry, my Instagram profile. And please share this with anyone if you think this is very helpful. If you know anyone who needs to get in a healthy relationship, if you know anyone that you constantly talk about them like, hey, yeah, I'm waiting for the right one, I don't want to waste no more time, yeah, because there's only one. The one is the one, and that's it. Like, it's one in a lifetime, and you don't want to miss that. who was it? I think it was Monica. You only get one in a lifetime. It was one of her songs. I love that song. I'm not gonna sing it because I can't dare sing like Monica. But yeah, you only get one in a lifetime. So you don't want to miss that, and you don't want to settle. You don't want to settle. Yeah, it's Instagram. It's there. If you click the link in the bio, it should take you. It's Instagram.com/TheInfluenceOfLove. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, Trinity. Haven't seen you on here in a while. Thank you. God bless you as well. So yeah, y'all, thank you so much to everyone that joined. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.